So the person who wants to guess how much cable that is, whoever comes closest, I'll send you a free hat or a t-shirt. Put them in the comments. Alright, I did it. I got it on by myself. I got the bolts in. That actually worked pretty slick. Just pick it up in those two outside holes. And I just backed the crane up here, and then I had to lift the boom a little bit to match the angle that we're sitting on. So that's how I had it rigged up.
Shake hands with danger. Need a guy who ought to know. I used to laugh at safety. Now they call me Three-Finger Joe.
I don't know what that weighs, but I'll bet it's all of 5,000 pounds. All right, so I'm going to let down on the crane. I've tightened the bolts hand tight with an end wrench and get this out of here. All right, there we go. She's on. So now I'm gonna let the boom the rest of the way down, then go get the impact to tighten them up. Hoist down. Hoist up. Told you I'd kick its ass. Okay, I'm back into the shop. So, gotta pick up the outrigger. All right, away we go. Rear steer is what I need. All right, back in the shop. Let's try to not take a door off. All right, so I need to get back in the shop because I glued those broken pieces on that brake cover, and they're going to need a good 24 hours to cure. And I'm going to go to Nampa tomorrow and get the hydraulic cylinders from Andy, and then get those on, and then I need a whole bunch more hydraulic oil. There we go. Oh man. Okay, so it's basically functioning. Everything works back to how it used to be years ago, in pretty good working order. I can't tell you how thrilled and relieved I am to have this done and functioning. So when I get the other outrigger cylinder on, the steering cylinder on, we're going to go out and pick something up. I think the first thing I'm going to do is go out there and pick up that U-dozer I brought back from Minnesota and get it tipped up so that I can start assembling it. And then I need to get some rollers ordered for the 9 and get that over here and get rollers on him. And then when I'm done with that, then we'll start back on the H. Alrighty kids, I got up early this morning and beat it over here to Advantage Machine and Hydraulics. Andy Bloomquist. Give him a call, 208-463-4440. Andy's a good guy. I like bringing stuff, even though it's 300 miles over here. I'll come over here to do that because they do good work, excellent work, very knowledgeable about hydraulics. Anyway, there's the new steering cylinder and there's the chrome rods in the back seat. So I probably should put the seat belt around them so if I get in a wreck, it don't kill me. Anyway, if you got something, man, I don't care how far away you gotta ship it, you should ship it over here, because these guys know their shit. So it is 10:16 Friday morning. I'm on my way back home, and it's been storming over here. It was storming on the way here. They've got snow pretty heavy on the hills, and I guess they're supposed to get some more. We're supposed to get some more on the valley floor. We're supposed to get some big storms, so I may be driving back in some snow. Ooh, look, excavator. It's a digger. A digger, mate. There's construction going on everywhere over here. Everywhere. Uh-oh. Somebody's upside down. That was a bad one. So I'm about home. Looks like the rain's starting to turn to some snow. Mrs. Jpaydirt said the lawn was covered. It was coming down hard at home. 100% chance tomorrow. That's a long old drive clear over to Nampa and back home. It takes all day long to do that. Well, what a difference 20 miles makes. The farther north I go, the worse it gets. Dun 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 dun. All right, here we are, Jpaydirt. Boy, it did put down a lot of snow. Holy moly. And I guess we're going to keep getting it. Okay, home sweet home. Let's get this stuff unloaded. Holy crap, are you still here? Not for long. So, Andy did a bang up job. New rod, new barrel, and a new nut, and a new piston with a modern seal on it. No more packing. And then this is the steering rod, and it kind of got damaged here when it come out of the vise, when we broke the vise. And so Andy TIG welded that up, that big gouge with stainless, and then ground it off clean. Saved that rod, which is totally awesome. If you got anything hydraulic, you need CNC stuff done, whatever you need, he builds those trucks that pound guardrail. He's done a lot of those. Anyway, he knows his stuff. He's a good guy and very good on price. So if you got something, call Andy, ship it to him. He does awesome work at a really good price. So I'm beat. I'm gonna go in the house, maybe take a nap or something. I don't know. This is killing me. I'll probably be out here in an hour or two putting those cylinders together. It's just killing me. It's killing me. I gotta get it done, man. So I want to show you the quality of his work. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. He made this new head retaining nut and it just fits like butter. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. That is so incredible. Absolutely impressed. This is so good. I hate to put a chain wrench on there and mess the paint up. I put a bag in the vise to try to keep it nice. Alright, so I got the steering cylinder on together. That went together a piece of cake. That was awesome. Of course, what do you expect when you get good quality work? Just goes together. I got this on, pinched the hell out of my fingers.
Shake hands with danger.
Because there's an O-ring that goes inside the bore where it goes over the shaft. There's an O-ring in there. And once you get past the threads, it's got to go up on the shaft. And I was pushing like crazy, had my fingers between this, holding the rings on and that plate, and it went boom and went on. Pinched my fingers. So, I gotta sit down here and think about it. I'm out of breath. And my fingers hurt. So I gotta get that out of the vise and then get the barrel up in the vise and get it shoved in there. So let's do that. Okay, so I've got this in and I just gotta tap gently to get it in far enough to get the nut on it and then finish sucking it in. That's what I'll do. Hello? You out there in the farm aisle? So, the snow out there is so heavy and wet, and the county came by with a grader and the wing, and wing-dinged that stuff out, or a windrow of it. And I got the loader's gone, the grader's gone, the backhoe's gone. The four-wheeler ain't gonna touch it, so Richard's gonna come down with the farm on and get it. I don't know why that doesn't want to go in. Why does that not want to go in? Maybe I can get that sleeved threader pusher in. I don't know. So I can put lots of anti-seize on it. Right here where you can see that anti-seize operation, you can see the correct procedure for anti-seizing. Now I can get some in here so this don't stick. How's that? So this was the cylinder that had the nut welded on it. I should have painted these all up too, like Andy did that new one. Boy, that would have looked good, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Okay, I think that's on. Oh yeah, like butter. Like butter. So this will have to, I'll have to do what I did before. Pin this on the outrigger and then crank this down good and tight. And get that pipe on it probably. Oh yeah, see this is what happens is you're just begging for disaster. This is trying to, oh, the power glitched. Power's gonna go out. I'll have to finish tightening that on the machine to get it good and tight. So you remember when I told you about the winter of 49? Yeah. See, because now it's blowing and drifting it, and we got enough snow. It'll make a hell of a mess if it does that. Hell of a mess. So, if power goes out, I'll be forced to get on the four-wheeler, go get Mr. Griffey, try to plow the driveway. Okay, you wanna watch me bust my guts here? So this is the part. This is the part where you get a hernia. Oh, Jesus, this is heavy. Oh my Lord. Oh, I can feel that. Something went pop. There we are. So I'd beat that rod down in there if I knew the dimension I had to have, but I know I can't go too far. Although, who cares? I can always lift the outrigger up and get the pin in it, you know? So it don't really matter. It don't matter. So I'm gonna get out my CDL with doubles, triples, hazardous, oxygen, acetylene bottle rolling endorsements. And we're gonna drag it. Probably gonna have to drag it because I can't, it's not gonna twirl. It ain't gonna twirl, Jeff. No, come on, stay there. Woohoo. There we go. Now we can go. Woohoo! Yippee-ki-yay! Okay, we're here. So first thing I gotta do is undo that strap. Let that outrigger fall to the ground. Wham. Wham bam, ma'am. We're down. Alright, so I gotta get the hose on here and tape that port up. Holy crap, this is nuts. There's so much snow that came down last night, and now it's like, I don't know what you call this. It's like snowflakes the size of kitty litter. It's snow, hail, sleet, something. Look at the shit hanging off the roof of the shop. I've never seen that before. I'll bet that's heavy. Oh man. I go turn the heat up in the shop way high and that stuff will start coming off. You don't want to be standing by the edge, you get hit in the head. I can hardly walk. This is nuts. It's so heavy and wet. Jeez. Had a herd of deer behind the house last night. I'm out of breath, man. Holy cow. Oh, look who's still here. Mr. Crane. You about not to be, buddy. Okay, guess where I'm at? Yeah, that's right. I'm at Disneyland. So I got my winch brake parts today. Put the seal in it, got it up there. Figured out my glow plug issue. They're all burned out. So I discovered that on these, they use an 11-volt glow plug. So you don't want to heat the glow plugs any longer than 30 seconds. You don't want to have a battery charger or booster hooked to the battery. And you absolutely don't want to press the button when it's running, because the alternator will supply enough voltage to cremate them. So that was my problem, and I remember I heated them that day. It was really cold and I wanted to get it in the shop. I probably heated them for a good minute, and I remember watching the glow plug meter all of a sudden go zzz to nothing. So my fault. I messed that up. I ordered some glow plugs online. I think they'll be here Wednesday or Thursday, but it has snowed and snowed and snowed here, and the power was out all over southeastern Idaho. For some people, up to 19 hours. They even had to open some schools up for shelters for some people. So it's not like this is gonna go out the door right away, but I was talking to somebody, can't remember who it was. Anyway, they were talking about Brian Block's episode where his cable on his overhead crane broke in his shop and dropped that great big machine he had.
There's the culprit. I knew I should have probably replaced that cable, but I didn't do it, and now it's cost me.
Anyway, I got up there and I looked at it and I thought, yeah, I need to replace the cable. Oh, so I still have some discoloration in the oil. It's not like a melted milkshake, but it does have some discoloration to it. So I got looking on the internet, and you can buy some deals, and it's got a mesh covering over it, and you lay them down in the tank, and as they absorb the water, they said you might have to leave them in there up to 6 days, but when they swell up and balloon tight, then you pull them out and they're full of water. So I bought 4 of those. I can't remember how long they were. I think like 2 feet, and I'll put all of them down through the hole and into the tank and see what they absorb. There's lots of different ways to remove water from oil. This seems like the cheapest way. The other way is a coalescing filter, but a guy made a comment about that, see if I could find somebody that had a Parker coalescing filter pump set up. I don't know anybody around here that has anything like that, but basically what you do is pull oil out through the filter, and then back in. And a coalescing filter, the oil makes a coating around the filter. The water molecules come up to it. They can't get through. The water molecules start to gather together into bigger droplets, and then they'll drop to the bottom. The other more expensive ways are you heat it to 135 degrees and apply vacuum to it, but you can't do that in a tank because you'd risk imploding it. So it'd have to be inside a pressure vessel. The other one is to boil it, but that's going to be a tough one too. A barrel of oil is $1,300 and some dollars for this. It needs 2 barrels plus 10 gallons. It holds 120 gallons. So I'd like to see if I could get as much water out of it as I can before I add another barrel of oil to it. So appreciate the comments because it got me searching. The other night I was on the phone with Paul Bennett. He's in Arizona. And he's the one that sent me the springs. So I've been looking for my Sharpie marker so I could write on the box, Paul Bennett. I knew if I said somebody sent me those springs, somebody would say, hey, I sent you those. Anyway, Paul called me and told me it was him. It's just awesome to get stuff like that from people because you end up using it. It's like, oh, cool, I got these springs. I can use them. So appreciate that, Paul. Enjoyed our conversation. And I appreciate those of you that mentioned the cable. And I went back and watched Brian's video. It's called The Worst Day Ever. If you haven't seen that, go to his channel. You can find that, search for it. It's Brian Block. BCBLC02, I think is his channel name. Anyway, he could have got hurt bad. And I don't want to drop a D9 engine or hurt somebody, so time to replace the cable. Yeah, I'm still working on this thing. So I'm thinking when I put my glow plugs back in and get it started and unwind all this cable. So I called Boise Crane and Rigging in Idaho Falls, and they said they can get me the cable out of Boise. They can get me whatever length I need because they buy it in like 5,000 foot spools. So if I figure out what I need, they can sell me only what I need, because I got looking on the internets and they're in 500 foot spools or 250 foot spools. They make 6x19 and 6x37, and so what that means is you've got 6 large strands around here, and then you have to count the number of strands in here in each one of these large strands. But that's been cut with a torch. I'd have to go down to Mr. TD24's and get in the toolbox of his 24. I think he's got a cable cutter in there and hack it off to see what I got. But I think I just need to get it out, unspool it, get it all on the ground, measure it up, and see what I've got. Oh, I've been plowing snow out here with the Johnny Popper. I don't have a grader here, don't have a backhoe, don't have the loader, have nothing. Four-wheeler won't plow it because we got about a foot of heavy wet snow. And anyway, you can see what it's doing on the roof. That's gonna come down here eventually. It's been snowing. It snowed yesterday, it's gonna snow today, it's gonna snow tomorrow. I guess I can get the window out. That's probably what I should do next, is get that out of there and take it to town and get that replaced. Anyway, onward and upward till we're done. So I pulled the fire extinguisher out of the crane. There's no hose on it. It was last filled in, I don't know when. Should we see if it works? Let's see if it works. Pull the pin, Captain. Yep, it does. I'll be go to heck. Believe that? It still works. That was a good fire extinguisher. You just wasted, Jeff. Ooh-wee. Shit. Wow. Big fire extinguisher. I fully expected that would not work. Holy moly. Stuff's lingering. Probably not supposed to breathe that, are you? In the trash bin. Oh. That's a little bit of cable. So the person who wants to guess how much cable that is, whoever comes closest, I'll send you a free hat or a t-shirt. Put them in the comments. Alright, so I got all that cable out, and I thought on the winch there'd probably be a wedge, and there's not. So if I get up here without falling down. So this is what it looks like. It goes in there, there's a hole, and then back around here is the end of it. So I need my crane guys to tell me, how do I get that cable out? I'm assuming I'm gonna have to what? Cut it off there and get a punch. There's gotta be something on the end of that cable that's either swaged on or I don't know. I don't know how they did that. So tell me how I get that undone. Okay, so Mr. Griffey came out with me when I turn the lights off and leave. We're off like a prom dress. So it has snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed. Now it's kind of like warm. It's about half rain, half snow. It's getting really slick. I got 2-foot overhang on the shop of ice and garbage. And this ain't going away till I think the end of the week. So me and Mr. Griffey go in the house and work on a video. And hopefully you can answer my question on that crane cable. 'Cause I ain't got a clue. Never done one. I suppose I can figure it out, but I'd sure like some advice. So you guys have an awesome evening. So I gotta show you Griff's new dog house. So Mrs. Jpaydirt bought this cute little dog house, and he won't use it at all. So she took some rugs and put over the bench, put him a bed in there. It's sitting on some plastic so it don't soak up water. He'll spend all day in there. He just loves it. Just loves it. What the heck? There we go. Okay, buddy.
And remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.